The 6th of October is a very historical day for me. It's a historical day for a member of SADTU. It's historical for the people of South Africa. Nelson Mandela, our first democratically elected president, said when we launched SADTU in 1990 that SADTU is the beacon of hope.
Welcome to SADTU Online Television. I'm your host, Nomusa Cembe. SADTU will be turning 32 on the 6th of October 2022. With us in the studio, we have one of the founder members of this organization to tell us where SADTU comes from. Baba MATAKANYE, why did you decide to be involved in trade unionism and trade unionism activism?
Thank you very much, Nomsa. I should thank the leadership of SADTU as well as the members of SADTU generally.
Tate MATAKANYE, if you can tell us briefly, what made you to decide to be part of trade unionism or to be engaged in activism?
As a young teacher, so to speak, I found that the teachers as workers at that time were oppressed. They could not voice their frustration. They could not say anything. They just worked within the design of apartheid. And in that instance, then it made me to think of a weapon that one will use against oppression, that will really protect the voice of the voiceless, the teachers. Therefore, we must come up with our own that will be democratic, that will be non-racist, that will be non-sexist, that will unite the teachers in South Africa, that will bring also a one education system in South Africa, because at that time, all the race or the racial groups had their education. There was education for the so-called white people, and there was DET, which was meant for us, and there was also the colored education, the Indian education. So if we come up with this democratic organization called SADTU, then we'll be able to unite all those races and form one. And that's what influenced me to become a unionist, to become an activist.
How did you hope to achieve that vision in that situation? What is it that made you to say, we can do this, even though the situation was not conducive?
Unity, commitment, and selflessness. That's the vision that we had. We always had this thing in our mind that we shall overcome. 1991, SADTU was launched. We looked back where we come from. We lost a lot of our comrades, a lot of our relatives, a lot of our friends. And that's why we feel that at this stage, SADTU must make sure that people who sacrificed, they must be very much happy about the organization wherever they are.
Can you tell us briefly about the challenges that you came across as you were starting the union, telling people about this vision and going about recruiting, urging people to join the organization when there were other organizations or associations that were there? What is it that you had to do to overcome those things?
These old established associations, they benefited a lot out of this apartheid. So they feared change, because always people will fear change because they are afraid of the unknown. The teachers will not love to be associated with this progressive organization, because they will lose their job, they will lose their salary, and they may even be arrested or even killed. And that was really the problem that was facing us.
Then the union was formed with a new vision in an apartheid system. How easy it was for you to negotiate for your members in a situation where you were not recognized?
People were selflessly disciplined, committed to the change in the country. And that in itself was able to give us an edge. We're firstly recognized because of the power that we had to ensure that we break down the system. We had a campaign, which we called it Defiance Campaign. We defied anything that the apartheid system was doing in our education. At one stage, we were able to ban the green files. There were green files where we were monitored through those green files. There were things like inspectors, and they were not really monitoring schools. They were inspecting whether you are fit to serve under this system. What we did was that now we were able to influence all the teachers and took all the green files and go and ban them. They brought a system called the top-down. We defied that top-down. It gave us a power to start now being the voice of the voiceless, then the power of negotiating, bargaining, getting, demanding for better salary, demanding for living wage, and that was the time.
The ushering in of the new democracy in '94, did it make it easier for your cause, as a union?
We were a force at that time. So the new democracy, the new government, when they came, they sat with us to say, what is it that you want? Then we told them, what is it that we want? And then it was easy, really, for us to start working in the system of education.
How did you manage to turn the situation around to make sure that, people, show respect to SADTU, even though there was this perception that people like teachers cannot go on the streets?
The power that we had, the strategy we used to mobilize, the unity that we had, the professional that we have shown when we embark on these actions, then they realized that there's no way that we might not have a way of representing teachers. We were majority in this country, did not compromise at that time. We said, forward we go, backward never. Then they realized, then they started giving us an ear.
There was this thing that you going on strike, you were neglecting the child in class. How did you balance that?
At times we sacrificed. When we came SADTU now, it was non-racial as we envisaged. The parents were really condemning us, not really understanding that we are fighting for the future.
What is the message that you'd like to share or to give to the current membership and leadership of SADTU?
I will say to the current leadership, the current membership of SADTU, professionalism. We know when the school starts, then we have to stick to that. If the school starts 7 o'clock, we must all be there. We are dealing with the young minds. And when they perceive us, they must see us as leaders, not just as ordinary people. When you are a leader, particularly in the primary school, you are seen as God, because you are the person that made this child to be able to read, to be able to write. At the same time, there must be commitment. There is no person that can compensate you for commitment. It means you go beyond the call of duty. We know that they are overloaded, but you might find that some teachers will teach in class and also teach outside the class. Time management is not really a skill. That it is not by mistake that in the school governing body we have teachers there. Those teachers are strategically placed. The teachers are the people who deal with curriculum. Then they'll be able to transfer that skill to them and make them to understand. Some of you will become our leaders in politics. We are calling upon them to say, we are looking upon you as leaders.
How do you feel now that SADTU is 32 years old? Did you envision that SADTU would live this long?
It shows that there are good things, and I think they must be communicated out there. The good things that SADTU is doing, perhaps is only known by SADTU members only and the leadership of SADTU. But I think through this platform, then we shall communicate this message in the community, in the society, the good things that SADTU is doing. I mean, you can't live 32 years of undisrupted. We always see SADTU as one. And this is one good thing that they are doing for all these years. And we want to say to them on their birthday, 32 years, they must continue. They must close ranks. They must strengthen the center. Happy, 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 happy. 32 years is old. I mean, you have operated. You are older than the democratic government in this country. You know, the democratic government, I think, is something like 28 or 29 years. Then you are 32 years, undisrupted. No factions in SADTU. We have got only one SADTU. I think this is the message that one has to send to SADTU. There must be discipline, there must be professionalism, there must be unity, there must be respect. We are saying, Amandla SADTU, Viva SADTU, forward we go, backward never.
Happy birthday, SADTU, happy birthday. Long live SADTU, long live. Long live the workers, long live. Amandla!